All right, if you guys would please find your focus on finance, percent of change extra practice. We are going to go through this together as a class. All right, let me make sure I'm checking one extra thing here. Okay. All right. Number one, Patty bought a pair of jeans that cost $40 for a sale price of $24. Okay, so that was the original. Okay, what is the percent discount? So I want to know what part did I go down? So to find the percent difference, it is going to be the difference over the original. Okay, to find the percent is going to be the difference over the original. And then you just tell me, did I go up or down? Well, I went from 40 to 24, so that means I'm going to go down. Well, the first thing I need to do is find the difference. So 40 minus 24. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I'm going to have 16 over 40. And then all I'm going to do is just simplify this down from here so that I can get to a decimal to figure out what percent. Well, I know that 16 and 40 can both be divided by 8. Well, 16 divided by 8 is 2. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Okay, I'm going to double check myself because Ms. Roberts really needs to have that pinpointed. Yep. And now I have 2 over 5. Now I need to turn this into a decimal to figure out what percent do I have. Well, 5 goes on the outside, 2 on the inside. 5 cannot go into 2, so I need to add a decimal and a 0. But 5 can go into 24 times to have nothing left over. Well, I'm at 0.4. Now remember, to take a decimal into a percent, you're going to take your decimal here and you're going to move it 2 times to the right. Fill in any blank spots with a 0. And your percent is a 40% decrease. 40% decrease. All right, number 2. Colton scored 70 on his first history test of the term and a 91 on his second history test on his second history test. By what percent did Colton's score increase? All right, so remember, difference over the original. I'm going to write this up at the top so I don't forget. Difference over original, and that's how we solve it, difference over original. So the first thing I need to do is find my difference. Well, 91 minus 70. 1 minus 0 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. 7, 8, 9. Yep, 21. So I'm going to have 21 over 91. Okay. Well, I'm going to use my calculator here to see, can it divide nicely, would be the nice terminology. Let's see, 3 and 13. Can that be divided by 7? It can. All right. So I used my calculator to help me. Well, 21 divided by 7 is 3. 91 divided by 7, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that that is 13. All right, that is 13. All right, so I need to have 13 on the outside, 3 on the inside. Now I'm going to only go out 3 decimal places here. So I'm going to add a 0 up here. Well, 13, can it go into 30? So let's see. I have 13, 26 would be what? 39. 13 times 3 is 39. 13 times 4 is 52. 13 times 5 is 65. 13 times 6, 13 times 7, 78, and 91. All right, so here we go. Well, 13 can go into 30. It looks like 2 full times. To have 4 left over, add a 0 and bring it down. It can go into 43 times with 1 left over. Add another 0. Well, 13 can't go into 10. Okay, so then I'm left with a 0 here. Okay, so it looks like my decimal is 0.230. So I'm going to move it 2 times to the right to get me at 23%, and this was an increase. 23% increase. All right, number 3. Callie earned $20 babysitting on Friday night. Saturday night, she earned $15 babysitting. What was the percent decrease in the amount that money Callie earned babysitting? All right, so difference. So 20 minus 15. is $5. So I'm going to take my difference over the original of 20. Well, 5 can go into both 5 and 20. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay. Well, I'm going to need to sit here and think, well, 1/4, well, what is 1/4 as a decimal? Well, that is 0.25. The way I knew that was how many quarters does it take to make $1? Well, 25, or 4 quarters, and each quarter is worth 25 cents. So I'm going to have my 0.25, move it 2 times to the right to get me 25% decrease. 25% decrease. All right, number 4, the average tuition for a 4-year public university is $8,000 in 2010. The average tuition increased to $9,600 in 2011. What percent increase in tuition from 2010 to 2011? All right, find my difference. So 9,600 minus 8,000. My difference is 1,600. I'm going to place this over my original of 8,000. Now, I'm going to teach you my 10th trick here. If you have a zeros at the end, you guys can mark them out. So only at the end. Now, I can mark off 2 zeros at the end. Now, can I mark off the 0? No, because I have a 6. So this now has been 16 over 8. Well, 16 divided by 8 is 2. And that's still in a number. It's not just 2%. I still need to take my decimal, which is after 2, move it 2 times. Yes. Yes. Okay. Wow. I just went completely blank. Wait. 2%. There we go. Because 200% doesn't make sense. 2% times 0.02. Let's see, 8,000 times 2. So wait, hang on, 9,600 minus 8,000. Ms. Roberts is double checking her math. So 1,600 divided by 8,000. Oh, that's 0.2. Oh, that's 80. That's what I was messing up on. This is 0.02. And then you're going to move that decimal. There we go. That's what Ms. Roberts was missing. She missed the 0. All right, 2 times to the right, which gets you 2%. There we go. All right, number 5, a pin factory has increased the amount of pins produced from 1,200 to 1,500. What percent of change is this? Meaning I want to know my percent of increase. So 1,500, I need to find my difference minus 1,200. I'm going to get 300 over the original of 1,500. Now I'm going to use my 10th trick again, and I'm not going to forget my numbers. So 3 over 15. I know that this can be divided by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, so I need to know 1 over 5. Well, I'm going to divide. I have to add a decimal and a 0. Well, 5 can go to 10 one time. So my decimal is 0.1. Now to change that to a percent, I move it 2 times to the right to get me 10%, and this was increase. And what was this? 2% increase. Okay. All right, looking at the back, number 6, profits of the U.S. hotel industry. They increased from $4.5 billion to $6.75 billion in 2004. Find the percent of increase. Okay, so hundreds, millions, billions. 6.75, we're going to just use the numbers, minus 4.50. Now, do not forget when lining up or when subtracting with decimals, you have to line everything up. Well, 5 minus 0 is 5. 5, 6, 7. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Bring down the decimal. Well, 6 minus 4 is 2. So I'm going to have 2.25 over 6.75. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my calculator here because these are not really nice, fun numbers here. And I'm going to do 2.25 divided by 6.75. And I'm going to see that it's going to be 1/3, which this is equated to 0.3333. So So I have 0.3333. Moving it 2 times to the right is going to equate to 33.33%. 33.33%. All right. Sarah went shopping for a new skirt. The original price of the skirt was $32.50, but it was marked down to $21.13. What was the percent of discount for Sarah's skirt? So I have $32.50 minus $21.13. Now I need to borrow and carry to finish out to find my difference because I want to know by how much did my sweater decrease. And it decreased by $11.33. So I'm going to place the difference, over the original of $32.50. Okay, we're going to use our calculator again, 37 divided by 32.50, because we've done plenty of these by hand. And I'm going to see that it's 0.3498. So 0.3498, move it 2 times to the right, and roughly a discounted price of 34.98%, or you guys can say about a 35% discount. Okay. Number 8, in 2014, South Middle School had 100 students in the 7th grade. In 2015, the number of 7th graders decreased by 10%. In 2016, the 7th grade class, it increased by a size of 10%. How many 7th grade students were enrolled at the South Middle School in 2016? Okay, we've got to do plenty of different work here. All right, so let's get to work. So in 2014, I know my total, and then by 2015, it decreased. So that means it went down. So that means I need to find what percent, or what is 10% of 100. So my part is X, my total is 100, and my percent is 10. So I'm going to use the equation part equals percent times the whole. So part is equal to 0.10 times 100. Okay. So part is going to equal, let's do this right here. Well, 100 times 0.10, 0.001 decimal. Well, that is 10 kids. Now, so in 2016, okay, so 100 minus 10 is 90. There were 90 7th grade students. In 2016, the 7th grade students had increased, or that was 2015. They had increased by 10% of what they were here. So my part is still unknown. My new total is 90, and my new percent is 10, because I want to know how many students are there in 2016. And so part equals percent times the whole. Part is equal to 0.10 times 90. Well, 90 times 0.10. Now, I did it here and I'm doing it here. I'm only doing it by 0.1. If you did the zeros, all you're going to get is zeros. 0.1 and 0.10 are the exact same number. Okay, so 0 and 9 will have one decimal place. That means 9. So my part is equal to 9 students. So I am, where is it? Increasing by 9 students. So 9 plus 9 is equal to 99. So in 2016, there were 99 students. 99 students. So you're like, Ms. Roberts, how'd you do that? So at the beginning, we had 100 kids. And then I decreased by 10%. So that's what I found right here, was how many kids are in 2015. So I found what is 10% of my original, and I subtracted that from the original to get me to 90. Then in 2016, I increased from my original number of students in 2015. That's when I then took the 90 now, and I found, okay, what is 10% of 90 to get, okay, well, it's 9, and I increased, so I had to add it back to my original that I had from 2015, not 2014. All right, and the last one, number 9. In 2017, the town of Springdale had a squirrel population of 250. Wildlife control experts that the squirrel population will increase by 14% per year. At this rate, how many squirrels will Springdale have in 2018? So I'm only going to go up by 1 year. So in 2017, I have 250 squirrels. I want to know how many squirrels do I have in 2018? Well, that's what I'm trying to locate. So my part, that's unknown. My total is 250, and my percent is 14, because that's what I'm increasing by. So I'm going to use my equation, part equals percent times the whole. So part is equal to 0.14 times 250. Well, 250 times 0.14. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. Placeholder. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. Add these up. 0, 0, 5, and 3. I see that I have 2 decimal places here, so that means I need to move my decimal place 2 times to the left to get that part is equal to 35. So from 1 year in 2017 to 2018, I increased the number of squirrels by 35. So I'm going to do 250 plus 35. 5 and 0 is 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then 2. So in 2018, you have 258 squirrels. Squirrels. 285 squirrels. If you guys have any questions, please let me